Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we are taking a look at the Hiya Toys Basic Series 1991 Godzilla. Now, this figure is a carbon copy replica of the original release they did with a little bit of different paint applications. The plastic looks a little bit different and the articulation is about the same. The joints are a little bit tighter on this guy, which we'll go over in just a moment. And he does come with a atomic breath part in this for this figure. So this figure comes from the 1991 film Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. Great film, lovely film. It's one of the best Heisei films, in my opinion, besides Godzilla vs. Destroya. Wonderful, wonderful film, and he isn't known for much action in that film, but that's a great segue into the posability for this guy, so let's go over that now. So you get a ball joint at the base of the head, a ball joint at the base of the neck, and there is a midsection ball joint, but it is very, very tight, which allows him to look up that far and down that far. You get a super tight ball joint at the shoulder. Every ball joint on this guy is tight as hell for no reason, but I like it that way. You get a ball joint at that shoulder, which does not allow for a full rotation. You get a ball joint at the bicep and at the elbow bend, and you also get a ball joint at the base of the wrist, which also is very tight for literally no reason, like I said before. No big deal though. It's a great figure all around. Other than that, you get that ball joint at the midsection, which allows for a little bit of a side to side. But like I said, every ball joint on this guy is extremely tight for no reason. Which, moving with that neck, you get a little bit more of a down there, and then you can look up just a little tiny bit more. Like I said, the posability is not perfect, but you get a ball joint at the base of the hip, which is pretty tight. You can't get a full rotation like the other Hiya Toys Godzilla, but you can get him to kick up and you can get him to kick back about that far. You get a double bend at the knee, which I believe is just two ball joints, which are rather loose there. I don't know why. There's a ball joint at the base of the foot, which allows for a slight pivot, pretty much non existent. This Godzilla wasn't well known for, action poses, so it's no big deal that his legs don't move that much. And then, as for the tail, you get a ball joint on every single segment you see, which allows for a nice natural curve there. You can see a beautiful S curve you can get out of that tail, pretty much like the SH Monster or Shin Godzilla, but it's not Shin Godzilla. Other than that, the painting and the sculpting on this guy look great. Yeah, you also get a ball joint at the base of the jaw, which I forgot to go over. You get that ball joint, which allows him to open his mouth. That's about all there. There's no tongue articulation. But to go over that painting, you can see those toes look absolutely phenomenal. You can see a lot of that painting on those front claws there, and in that mouth you can see this is the updated head sculpt for this guy as well, which I know there was a different head sculpt for the original one, which is the one I have. The one on the bottom you can see, and then the one on the top is the updated one, which is on this guy. You can see a lot of that translucent and clear plastic for those spines there. You can see they're very blue, like they are painted very well at the tips there. And it does kind of have an abrupt cutoff, but that's okay. I mean, the CGI back then wasn't great, so you can see a lot more. If I get the light covered, you can see it's pretty translucent. And other than that, this guy is pretty good all around in the painting, the articulation, all that is pretty good. So the only other thing to go over with this guy pretty much is just going to be the accessory that you get, and that's going to be this atomic breath part here. You can see the painting on this is good as well. Let me just get Godzilla out of the frame here. So you can see it is made out of that same translucent plastic with that white painting on the tips of the beam there, and you can see it looks absolutely phenomenal. It's sculpted great and it looks awesome. Like it really does. So there's a lot of sculpting. You can see it does have a weird little thing on the end, which I'll show you how that works in just a moment. But yeah, lovely atomic breath part. And How you're gonna get that into Godzilla is you're pretty much just gonna open his mouth, pause. You're gonna jam that in there, and yes, that is a very tight fit. But the tighter, the better in all scenarios,
Whoa, 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 whoa,
and
hey,
just
hey, 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 hey.
absolutely great once you get that in there. It fits great. All those tight ball joints pretty much make sense here now, just because you are gonna want his neck to stay up and his whole body to stay up with that rather heavy piece of plastic that he's gonna have in his mouth. Whoa, pause. And yeah, you can get that into some nice poses. You can keep his head pretty much perfectly, at a good angle to just hold it there, and it'll work pretty good. So, other than that, there's not really much else you can do with it. You can get some poses out of it, as you can see. He looks great. And other than that, size comparison. He is a rather big Godzilla figure, I'd say, bigger than the SH Monster Arts one at least. And this is him compared to the original Hiya Toys 1991 Godzilla. Looks great next to this guy. This is him next to the Hiya Toys King Ghidorah. And yeah, you can see he matches pretty well. You can get that same atomic breath part into the original one, by the way, if you did want to do that. Don't know exactly why you'd want to do that, but you can use that. This guy has pretty much the same articulation as the other one, so you can get into some crazy poses with that tail. And using just an included stand, or a not included stand, you can get him to some nice poses with King Ghidorah or with Godzilla. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This video was fun to make. I tried to edit a little bit more, but yeah, other than that, great figure all around. And hope you guys enjoy. I would highly recommend this figure.